Senior defense number 2, Charlie Masonry. Senior long stick mid number 8, Matt Stanley.
Goodness.
Junior attack number 10, Simon Zephyrs. Sophomore defense number 15, Joe Larson. Junior attack number 17, Nick Hudson. Sophomore attack number 21, Tommy Bushwack.
We welcome you to George Smith Field here at Mahtomedi High School for this great early season boys lacrosse matchup between the number 8 Mahtomedi Zephyrs and the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. Hi everybody, on behalf of all of us here at SCC Sports, I'm Patrick Lulia with you this evening as the St. Thomas starters have just been introduced.
So let's meet the starting
We will get the Zephyrs starters introduced. These two teams are combined 9-0 on the regular season coming in. Zephyrs 5-0, the Cadets 4-0. Mahtomedi looking to return to state for the first time in a couple of years. St. Thomas Academy a little bit of a longer drought. They've been waiting 4 years to hopefully get themselves back to the state tournament. Two teams looking up at Hill Murray in the Metro East, so a very strong Metro East conference. A combined 15-0 to start the regular season. Going to be some really great matchups when these three play their round robins with each other. The Zephyrs and the Cadets tonight here at Mahtomedi High School. 2-0 in conference. On the year are the Zephyrs.
And senior goalie number 49, Jack Steffen. Head coach for the varsity team is Mike Nero.
Zephyrs key returning players from last season: Oscar Magnuson, Gunnar Selman, and Landon Kraus, two attackers and a midi. At the key departure, of course, the goaltender Alex Lavelle, always a little tough to replace a strong goaltender. Max Hahn also departing as well for Mahtomedi, as the teams will meet at midfield for the pre-game captains meeting. Zephyrs coming off a 13-1 win over Simley. Zephyrs have really only been tested one time. They had a 1-goal win over New Prague. That was their third game of the season. St. Thomas 4-0, as we said. They're coming off a win over Simley by a score of 16-4. 18-4, I beg your pardon. Here in this first quarter, the Zephyrs will go left to right on your screen, as they will be backstopped by goaltender Jack Steppen. And in net for the Cadets. So we are underway with the Zephyrs in control of the opening face-off. Ahead by Sam Churchill. Zephyrs will work it around the St. Thomas net. It'll go back up high for Churchill. Undefeated records on the line tonight. Trying to drive his way inside for the Zephyrs was Seth Erickson. Nearly got it onto the side of the net. Good physical defense from Charles Meisterling, as the Zephyrs will be able to keep control of it. Into the high slot, Mason Peterson. Peterson with a shot score. Mason Peterson gets the scoring started as the goal horn goes off here at George Smith Stadium, and the Zephyrs have an early 1-0 advantage. See on the replay, just quick flipping it into the net. He's able to beat the goaltender, Thomas Wicks. Now the Zephyrs just over a minute into the game at the 1:02 mark on the board. Zephyrs, as you see, are in the white with the navy numbers, navy helmets, gold trim. Mason Peterson. And Seth Erickson gets the goal. Peterson with his 6th tally of the season.
White's in the crease.
Penalty was called on the Zephyrs, so things turn over to St. Thomas as it'll be ahead for Luca Petri. Petri will try to quickly get it ahead into the Zephyr end. Now controlled by Peter Olson. Nathan Williams. It's off for Pedri. Pedri defended by James Thunig.
Roll back! Come on! Who's on? Who's two? Who's two?
Cadets trying to answer the early Zephyr goal. Simon Zavaro will work it up toward the far side. Now Williams back with it. Williams getting a little bit of a screen. Not many shooting lanes on this sequence yet, as then nearly losing it with Williams as he's able to retain it. Williams getting some stick bumps from Delvin Chu as the play will work back on toward the near side. Williams.
Hey, Rock! Hey, coming right. No, Rock!
Thomas Bushlack behind the net. Trying a wraparound. He scored. Now Thomas Bushlack will tie this game up at 1. Falling away. Able to squeeze it past the goaltender Steppen. Oh, an early goal for each team. The contact as he was about to release it. Oh, a good job to keep the play going through the contact from Hank Roloffs of Mahtomedi. Got the shot off into the net. 8th goal of the year for Bushlack.
At 8:45 of the first quarter, number 21, Tommy Bushlack, unassisted.
Unassisted for Tommy Bushlack. Now back for one of the long sticks, that's Ed Whitney. That's a Peterson. Peterson had some resistance. Got it off, a shot goes wide from Churchill. Churchill for Peterson. Peterson got one in front, a shot bounces wide in front of the net. Covered behind the net by Sam Knapp for Mahtomedi. As Knapp was pressured, but able to stay in bounds. It'll come back for Churchill. Churchill rips a shot into the net. Sam Churchill puts the Zephyrs back on top. Churchill again needing that contact, using Kelisic as a little bit of a screen. 7th goal of the year for Sam Churchill.
Scoring Mahtomedi at 7:31 in the first quarter. Number 6, Churchill.
Kelisic spinning. Mason Peterson picking up the assist as Kelisic back the other way. Ripped one just wide of the net.
Hold that. Bring your heart.
Bushwhack.
Bring your heart.
Daverill tries to pick up some speed around Chu.
Come on.
Nice spin move by Pedri, and Pedri will drop it on toward the side of the net. Couldn't quite connect, though, on the pass. Up with it for Connor Gray. Now Whitney will come into the corner with it as we get a whistle. Joseph Larson for St. Thomas. Dropped ahead for Max Camden as Camden racing ahead. Quick passing into the high slot, but 3 Zephyrs defenders converge onto the 4. The shot could be attempted, including Braden Poppelman. Chased that one out of bounds onto the far sideline into the Zephyr bench. Beth Erickson pass ahead, was able to get it for Gray. The goal for Oscar Magnuson. Saw some nice passing displays a moment ago at the left end of the screen. Now we see it on the right end as Magnuson is able to hit what is effectively the Lacrosse equivalent of a one-timer. And the Zephyrs have a 2-goal lead. And when you get these 2 top teams, you're going to get some nice displays of really good, crisp passing and players being in the right spot at the right time.
Assisted by number 9, Ned Whitney.
Bushwhack shoved to the ground by Roloffs. 5th goal of the year for Magnuson. A moment ago, Bushwhack able to keep control of it.
Take left. Off your whole left. Flag is down.
There's a flag down on the play. That pass will go out the back line.
White, chill, last, 1 minute, hey, Doc. Blue in the alley.
There'll be a 1-minute face guarding penalty. Well, St. Thomas will go a man up.
Hey, shoes last side. All right, when you're ready. We're good. No.
Hey, sticks up, be loud! Watch me agree, sticks up.
We're good.
Cadets will work it around in front of the net. Trying to get it out in front, and then a big check put on the side of the net that's going to draw another flag. And that big hit was put on by Thunik. Well, the Zephyrs will be 2 players down. Here the Mikes pick up that crunching hit. Oh, a good opportunity here for St. Thomas Academy with Zephyrs down 2. Tip, but able to be recovered by Luke Hudson. Got ripped through, deflects off the goaltender Steppen. Comes back in for Hudson. Hudson, he'll take a shot that was blocked. Still loose on the turf. Good job to recover him, and then a bad pass to carry it back toward midfield. Covered there by Pedri.
Great top middle, great top middle.
Nice stop again by Steppen as Hudson took the shot as he rips it toward midfield. Cadets able to come away with it again. They quickly come back on the attack. They get it in front. They score. That's going to be the second goal of the quarter for Tommy Bushlack. As that just took an unfortunate hop back into the Mahtomedi zone after it was sent upfield by Steppen. Bushlack got it in front. Took the nice feed from Itch Reagan.
Go, Church!
Both teams now back at full strength. Nice goal for Bushlack, second of the quarter.
Assisted by number 2, Charlie Meisterling.
Charlie Meisterling picked up an assist. Zephyrs will set up in the St. Thomas zone.
Hey, Mike, show Mike. Ball stop. Who's on that Kano show? Kano show.
Hey, good. Hey, Tucker, go. Big help.
Landon Cruz for Churchill.
Hey, I'm going. Hey, reset. No, AJ.
Behind the net, Whitney.
Cody, top side.
Feed in front, didn't connect. It's loose. And the Cadets come away with it. Treating behind the net, Max Camden.
Hey, come on.
That's able to get the pass ahead for Pedri. Bushlack.
We're good.
He's pressured defensively by Roloffs. Nathan Williams tries to turn it upfield. Was stripped of it as it's taken away by Connor Gray. Gray still with it as he comes up the left sideline. He'll pass it ahead on the side of the net. Score. Sam Knapp was able to get the pass from Gray. Catch the pass, shoot, and score for Knapp. Fourth goal of the year for Sam Knapp. Cadets control the face-off. It'll be knocked down by Hudson. He's able to recover it. Approach a minute to go in this opening quarter. Zephyrs have had an answer for each time that the Cadets have put it in the net. Crossfield pass was knocked down. Ball still loose on the carpet. Zephyrs will race ahead with it. Whitney's crossfield pass goes out of bounds.
Let him go.
Cadets will then send it crossfield on toward the near side. Pedri. Come down toward the final 20 seconds of this first quarter. Nathan Williams. Pedri trying to drive toward the net in the final seconds. Defended well. It's tipped away, and the pass, and that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Zephyrs with a 2-goal advantage after 1 quarter of play. We're going to take a break here on SEC Sports. Mahtomedi 4, St. Thomas Academy 2 after 1 quarter. Second quarter just around the corner.
There I was, 16, divorced, remarried with a baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. It was time for me to change my life and the lives of my family, so I went back and I got my high school diploma. That was the catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's, a master's, and I became a teacher.
Mom, this is your very first yearbook.
Your commitment to education motivates me, your coworkers, and your students.
You showed me that if you come from nothing, you can still be anything.
You told me I deserve to succeed. It's been 15 years, and I still live by that.
You're the model for success for your kids, grandkids, and your students.
When I look at all these success stories, I cannot help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Welcome back to George Smith Field at Mahtomedi High School. The Zephyrs in front by a pair as we get set to start the second quarter as they take on St. Thomas Academy in this thrilling Metro East matchup. We highlighted the top 3 teams in the conference undefeated, a combined 15-0 with these two plus Hill Murray. Take a look at some of the highlights of that first quarter. With the opening goal for Mason Peterson. A couple of goals for Tommy Bushlack as well for the Cadets, including that one where he was being knocked to the ground as he was releasing the shot. Was able to get it in the net anyway. Got through traffic there for Sam Churchill. They're underway here in the second quarter. 4-2, the Zephyrs in front as the Zephyrs control the face-off to begin this second quarter. Sun begins to peek out a little bit from the gray clouds. late evening. Ian Carlson in control of it. Carlson, the lefty shot, sent it through the traffic, goes out the back.
No.
Ed Whitney working it back behind the Cadet cage. Carlson with a shot and a nice stick stop by the goaltender, Wicks. He just whacked that one away. We'll get a stoppage.
Hey, Joe, you go. Ball's left. Hey. You, Cody.
Picked up by Magnuson. Magnuson dancing around behind the Cadet goal. Has to work a pass for Peterson. It gets by him. Going to keep it in. He cannot. Joe Larson works it back in for the Cadets. Good defense at midfield to force the turnover by Knapp. A little bit of a pass behind Knapp as the Zephyrs, though, able to regain control of the play. Landon Cruz leaves it off for Churchill. Cruz took a shot, might have gone off the post. Ricochets all the way back in front of the Zephyr bench. Cruz back with it. Cruz generates some space, a bouncing shot, and a nice stop by Wicks. Meisterling streaking through midfield is just wide in front of the net. They were trying to get it ahead for Zavril as he was all alone in front of the goaltender Steppen, but the pass out of his reach. Zephyrs trying to aggressively get it back upfield, and that'll be a turnover for St. Thomas Academy as here comes Bushlack racing. A nice defensive play from behind by Roloffs. Hank Roloffs just taking care of business as Bushlack didn't get the chance to bid for his third of the game. The Cadets will keep control of it. Trying to drive his way in is Max Carlson. Zephyrs control behind the net. Spin his way, but can't get through a couple of Cadets as we'll get a whistle. Seth Erickson, the one knocked to the turf. Carlson, you see, getting sandwiched there between Meisterling and Pedri. And a penalty assessed on the Cadets for that hit. Beg your pardon, and Simon Zavril who will be off for the Cadets, so Mahtomedi goes player up for the first time in the game. Got ripped in on Wicks as he made the stop.
Yeah, right here.
Agneson, Churchill. Agneson trying to get it back down low as it's poked away at the last moment in front of the net. Whitney was the closest one.
I got here. Hey, you guys throw low to me.
Able to take the hard contact with Camden. Ball loose on the turf. Throw it dead. Some unhappy chants from the crowd here at Mahtomedi as timeout called with 6:57 to go in the second quarter. No scoring yet in this second frame. Zephyrs have had a 2-goal advantage most of the way. You've read head coach Frank Clark meeting up with his Cadets. They've got the blue uniforms, white helmets, and Michael Narrow over on the other bench. Zephyrs in the whites with the navy and gold, the navy helmets. Take a look at the weather for tonight's game. Game time temperature in the low to mid 60s, a little bit of wind. No humidity to really speak of. Here in the shadow of the windmill that last time we were out here, that was blowing pretty wildly, but today pretty much still. We're back underway as it's sent ahead by Nathan Williams. Williams back in control of it. Luke Hudson out of the high slot.
Watch this guy, watch this guy.
Williams. That's being pretty patient as we approach the midpoint of the second quarter. Zephyrs thus far not allowing any opportunities for shooting lanes or opportunities for players to move inside. As the Cadets will try to box them in a little more. Shot from Hudson goes wide. It'll stay with the Cadets.
Outside. Paper bottom left. Center. Right.
Bushlack.
Get ready for rotate. We're good. Over. Get ready to rotate. Over.
That's trying to just keep these players having to work their way back inside. Zephyrs defense on this sequence playing spectacularly as there now they force the turnover. Racing the other way with it is Knapp. What a sequence for the Mahtomedi defensive group on that sequence for St. Thomas Academy.
Use your feet, Joe.
Force the Cadets to keep moving it around the net over and over again, eventually able to force the turnover. Timeout called by the Zephyrs. Take a look at the previous meetings between the Zephyrs and the Cadets. Cadets having won the last 6. Going back to 2018. Zephyrs looking to snap that streak. Still no scoring here in the second quarter. We have seen some really good defense. We'll come out of the timeout with it being controlled by Cruz. Cruz able to fake out one cadet briefly. We'll work it back for Churchill.
This time. 1-6.
Zephyrs able to get it behind the net. Streaking in and a shot that goes wide in front. Magnuson took the shot as the Cadets will come up the near boundary. A spin move by Grayson Londorf. Londorf trying to evade the long stick of Bernick.
Timeout called on the field.
And we'll get another timeout with a little under 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Timeouts don't carry over, so you might as well use them while you have them. Take a look at some of the highlights thus far with the Zephyrs on top. 4-2 is the early goal for Mason Peterson. That put the Zephyrs on top. 1-0, and then a first of a pair for Tommy Bushlack in that first quarter for St. Thomas Academy. That tied it at 1 at that time. Sam Churchill putting Mahtomedi back in front. And a great sliding stop defensively there from the goaltender Steppen as Bushlack picks up his second of the game. Zephyrs would pick up a couple more in that first quarter. Luca Pedri in control of it here. Nathan Williams. He's trying to run away from Julian Cizik, and we'll get a whistle and a violation. Will turn it over to the Zephyrs. Zephyrs nearly turned it over on that pass upfield, and a hard hit prevents the takeaway. Now it's loose again. Nice job by Magnuson to just keep it moving forward. Magnuson lost it, got it back. Now slips and goes to the turf. Officials are going to get together and talk about things. And it looks like the Zephyrs did get awarded a timeout. So with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter, we'll have another timeout on the field. The Zephyrs on top by 2. Next up for the Zephyrs, Hudson will come on in. That'll be Friday night here at George Smith Field. I'll take a look at the latest rankings, the most recent ones we have. That goes back to last week as Mahtomedi coming in number 8. A lot of late conference schools in that mix, as well as Manil St. Margaret's out of the Metro West. Next door neighbor Stillwater coming in at number 2. And rounded out a couple of South Metro schools with Rosemount and Farmington. Some teams playing very unbalanced schedules. So some teams are a few games in. Some teams have barely even started their campaigns. Kind of tough to judge where everybody's at. It's early in the season still. Come out of the Mahtomedi timeout. Bruce. Magnuson. Back up high for Cruz. Cruz with a shot blocked. That will come upfield the other way. Max Camden. We approach 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Eating in and taking the shot, and that goes wide of the net was Pedri. But that's able to keep control, an errant pass rolls toward midfield, and the Zephyrs are going to be able to take it back the other way as Knapp quickly gets it up for Magnuson, who rips a shot for the goal. Well, the errant pass for the Cadets turns into a goal for Mahtomedi. Oscar Magnuson getting the pass from Knapp. Fifth goal of the year for Oscar Magnuson. He's pumped up, the crowd pumped up here at Mahtomedi High School. The Zephyrs have their largest lead at 5-2 with a little under 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. As Meisterling picked up that ball, they called a violation, so Zephyrs take over on the turnover.
Hey, Chuck, show. Chuck, show left. Show left.
Cruz tried to work it ahead. Now Cruz will take it back from Mason Peterson.
1 minute remaining, second quarter, 1 minute.
Roll.
Under a minute to go in the first half. Nearly turned over. It's loose again. Trying to get it back. Peterson. We'll get a couple of flags coming down. One of the flags is going to be for that stick hit to the backside from Max Candon. They took, not for a moment, but they might have taken 2 cadets. Looks like it's just going to be Candon. So the Zephyrs will be player up here in the final minute of the opening half.
Five on five! No. Here! Set up, here!
Churchill. Final 20 seconds. That's on the side of the net, a shot. Might have twinked off the crossbar. For the final 10, Churchill able to recover. Churchill gets it up high, one last chance. Magnuson's shot will deflect wide as the first half will come to an end. Only 1 goal in that second quarter, but it goes to the Zephyrs and Oscar Magnuson. And the Mahtomedi Zephyrs have a 3-goal lead at halftime. We're going to step aside here on SCC Sports. We've got your second half coming up in a little bit. 5-2 Zephyrs at halftime over St. Thomas Academy.
Calling all big thinkers. The world's climate is changing. These aren't new facts, but it means we must think in new ways about how we can live, prosper, and provide energy for our world while protecting our planet. Engineers are answering the call to create cleaner, safer, reliable energy. Solar power, harnessing the power of the sun to light all corners of the globe. Wind power, channeling a simple breeze to bring electricity to our homes. Hydropower, using the natural flow of water to generate electricity. Nuclear power, engineering advanced reactors that are safer, more reliable, and produce zero carbon emissions. Engineers are leading the way and empowering the next generation. Engineers answer the call.
Danny. See me after class. Okay, so, Jennifer? Yes? Okay, let me know.
Danny, I just got this notice from your school. We need to talk. This is important. We need to talk.
Danny, wake up!
Danny! Labs.
Danny! She's overdosing.
When no one else knows what to do, it's gotta be you. Carry naloxone. You could save a life.
Mom, did you really need to buy 2 can openers for our emergency kit? I can't help it. They're 2 for 1.
What's this?
We need to keep our family communication plan safe in case of an emergency.
Thanks, Tita.
Oh, man.
Well, good thing we kept all the lights we used for the rally.
I've got the battery pack.
Keep my phone powered so we don't miss any alerts.
What about game night?
Sounds good.
Oh, we have to get to Mom and Dad's and get them somewhere safe. I've got the evacuation route loaded on my phone.
I've got an updated list of Dad's meds.
And I've got just what we need to get them to take this seriously.
If that doesn't convince them that we thought this through, I don't know what would.
Start a conversation with your family and plan together for emergencies.
Welcome back to George Smith Field here at Mahtomedi High School. The Zephyrs in front of the St. Thomas Academy Cadets, 5-2, as we will get set to start the second half in just a couple of minutes. 5 different goal scorers for the Zephyrs so far in tonight's game. Let's take a look at some of the highlights for you. As the early goal in the first minute plus for Mason Peterson. Cadets got both of their goals in the first quarter. Both of them came Tommy Bushlack, as you see his first one there. Churchill there for the Zephyrs. Put them back on top. And a great save. Really good saves from Jack Steppen in that first half. Bushlack there picked up his second. Only one goal in that second quarter is a great stop going the other way by Thomas Wicks. Steppen making another good stop. And then late in that first half, it was Oscar Magnuson for the Zephyrs. That was the only goal of the second quarter for either team. Lights are on. The sun has pretty much faded away, the little bit that we got to see of it during that second quarter. Same time, temperatures in the lower 60s, might be in the upper 50s as we work our way into the second half. On behalf of our FCC Sports crew, I'm Patrick Lilia with you from Mahtomedi tonight. Looking forward to a highly anticipated Metro East matchup, as we talked about in the game intro. The top 3 teams in the East Metro all undefeated, a combined 15-0, with Hill Murray at 6-0, the Zephyrs at 5-0, and St. Thomas coming in with 4-0. Be a lot of really good matchups as these 3 teams start to play against each other through about the first third of the regular season. Cadets are in the blue. They'll go right to left here in the third quarter. Zephyrs are in the white with Navy. And they'll go left to right on your screen. Second half underway. Mahtomedi up by 3. Bad pass here for the Zephyrs. To pick it out of the hurdles on the very near side of the stadium. Nearly turned over, able to be recovered by Hudson. Hudson double teamed by a couple of Zephyrs. Able to get it off on the left side for Miserling. Back for Hudson.
We're open. Open. White. White. We're white.
They would second half adjustments the Cadets made after they were held scoreless in that second quarter. A big block in front and a Cadet slow to get up. Hopping to his feet is Nathan Williams as he will make his way to the sideline. Big hit put on. A legal one, it appears, for Connor Gray. Zephyrs in control of the ball as we'll work it on the left wing. Bounding pass ahead into the pocket of Sam Churchill. Good defense on the sideline to force the turnover by the Cadets.
Right, boys.
Nice passing that allows Petrie to come free. Petrie takes it out of the side of the net for Bushlack as Bushlack has to pick up a loose ball. Now the Cadets will slow things down. A little chess match between Bushlack and Trent Steenberg. Bushlack able to work free now as Steenberg putting some pressure on. Bushlack nearly slipped. Some contact on the side of the net as Steppen comes away with it. Steppen pressured, will drop it off onto the far side. Churchill. Now Whitney. Zephyrs try to work it out of the back of the net through that stick contact involving Joe Larson. Will be Cadets' ball and some contact from behind. Flag comes down. Racing ahead the other way is Kelichik, and he scores. Oh, the flag came down behind the play. The Cadets get the goal. Kelichik was able to just split a couple of Zephyr defenders. Oh, a much needed goal for the Cadets. For Kelichik, his fourth goal of the season.
Scoring for the Cadets at 43 of the third quarter, number 1, Mike Kelichik, unassisted.
Unassisted for Kelichik. First goal since fairly early in the first quarter for St. Thomas as that's sent wide of the net in front by Whitney.
Oh, go to free. Hey, guys.
Magnuson got it up for a shot. There was some contact. Mason Peterson trying to work it around. Seth Erickson. He'll take a shot that'll go high over the net. Really good, hard-fought defensive game on both sides thus far. Back out for Mason Peterson. Peterson gets some room, able to put it through the 5-hole of the goaltender. Wicks, and the Zephyrs back up by 3. Mason Peterson, his second goal of the game. Oh, the Zephyrs answer the St. Thomas goal. Zephyrs awarded the face-off. They'll say the ball start on the Cadets. 7th goal of the year for Peterson. Landon Cruz picks up the assist. Zephyrs want head contact call. Doesn't look like they're going to get it. Peterson races in, sends a shot wide of the net. Cruz with a shot, if that'll be taken by Wicks, the goaltender. Zephyrs looking to snap a 6-game overall losing streak against St. Thomas. Haven't beaten the Cadets since 2018. Joseph Larson stripped of it. Stay with the Cadets. Hudson in control of it.
We're good, boys. Find your heart.
Shed some contact as Pedri. Pedri ends, and he scores. Luca Pedri. That's the Cadets, their second goal of the third quarter. Pedri able to outrun that contact. But in over the left shoulder of the goaltender Steppen. That's his 8th goal of the year. Cadets come right back off the face-off. Kelicic. So Pedri unassisted. Coming out of the high slot, Camden. Camden lost it. Able to be recovered, and then the shot was taken. And then getting knocked to the ground was Luke Hudson behind the net. Up the near wing, Connor Gray.
Watch it coming. Go, go, go.
Magnuson recovers. Beats it on toward the near side. As we'll get whistles blowing as the Cadets took control of it. Just a brief delay. We got a penalty called on the Cadets. So the Zephyrs will be man up for a minute. And they score as they worked it for Knapp, who has his second goal of the game. The flag came in. I'm not sure if they didn't like the Zephyr celebration after the play was over. Wrist pass that gets through to Knapp, who blasts one home. And I think they might have not liked that Knapp looked like he had a few words for one of the Cadets on his way back toward midfield. Well, the goal is good, but going to have that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty called on Knapp. Well, the Cadets will begin in control of the face-off. Oh, Knapp with his second of the game, but now in the penalty area. Hudson for Petrie. Rolling ball will go well wide in front of the net. Now, Zephyrs have been able to mostly maintain this 3-goal advantage. Hudson. Zephyrs back at full strength. The shot got through as trying to close off the 5-hole was Steppen, but he just wasn't able to squeeze it, as I believe it'll be Petrie who picked up the goal. Also had John Simmons in the area as well. Petrie got it for Simmons, I beg your pardon. It will be Simmons, as this couldn't quite sit on it as it rolls into the net through the legs of Steppen. Back to a 2-goal game.
Scoring for the Cadets. 3:05 in the third quarter. Number 3, Jack Simmons.
Hudson will come in with a chance. Flag comes down as another penalty coming against the Zephyrs. 8th goal of the year for Jack Simmons. Zephyrs will go a man down, it appears, yet again. Petrie got it up for a shot. It ends up going wide of the net. Connor Gray in the penalty box. Hudson for Petrie. Petrie, now Hudson again. Hudson thought about the shot. Gets it off for a shot, and they score. So the Cadets finally able to trim the deficit below 2. Cadets have scored 4 times here in the third quarter. Nathan Williams, who took that hard check earlier. Now the Cadets, who have struggled to get closer than 2.
Scoring for the
Finally,
Cadets.
trim the deficit to 1.
Number 22, Nate Williams.
7th goal of the year for Nate Williams.
17, Luke Hudson.
Luke Hudson gets the assist. Final 2 minutes of the third quarter. A little bit of a late push by the Cadets.
Who's live?
Big hit put on by Meisterling as whistles blow. Meisterling tying his shoes. It doesn't look like they called a penalty. Officials will talk about it. Zephyrs have seen their 3-goal lead trimmed to 1. They'll wave off the flag. Zephyrs turn it over as back come the Cadets with it. Kelisic into the slot, and the Cadets tie the game. Kelisic got it off, and the shot was taken by Max Candon. Candon blasts that lefty long stick shot into the net, and that's 3 straight for St. Thomas after they were down 7-4. They've tied it up at 7 apiece with a little over a minute to go in the third quarter.
Number 8, Max Candon, assisted by number 1, Mike Kelisic.
Kelisic picks up the assist.
1 minute remaining, third quarter.
4th goal of the year for Candon. Petrie thought about racing in. Now he'll back things down. Final 30 seconds. Petrie feed it inside. The shot was partially whipped on, or maybe was blocked, as it'll be controlled by Steppen. Steppen will lob it downfield. Ball went a long way as it'll come into the corner, and the third quarter will come to an end. A great third quarter for the Cadets as they outscore the Zephyrs 5-2. And after 3 quarters, we're tied at 7. It's a 12-minute game coming up in the 4th quarter. St. Thomas and Mahtomedi tied at 7 after 3. We'll be back with your 4th quarter on the other side here on SCC Sports.
Self-love made me a better dad because I realized my worth. Arapaho way, you gotta pray for yourself as well as for everybody else, but never forget yourself. The word father means a lot to me. When I give my love to my children as a father, I can see it. That's the benefit of being a father is seeing those smiling faces.
I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us, but try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same. But you have excuses because you're old, so it's okay.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
We welcome you back to George Smith Field here at Mahtomedi High School. The Zephyrs had a 3-goal lead during that 3rd quarter, but erased in pretty short order by the Cadets late in that frame. As we go there for Mike Kelisic. Second goal of the game here for Mason Peterson for the Zephyrs. Zephyrs scored a couple of goals in that 3rd quarter, but the Cadets just kept coming in waves. We'll go to the 4th quarter, tied at 7. Zephyrs able to control the face-off to begin the 4th. Trying to get it right in front for Sam Knapp. And another goal in that 3rd quarter for Mahtomedi. Zephyrs able to keep control on the near side. Oscar Magnuson. Holds it out for Sam Churchill.
Come in. Hey, no, who's on 25? Hey, show right. Who's got 11? Show right.
Landon Cruz.
Let's go, Tom. Take it right. Ball's right, ball's down. Ball's down. Hey, Chuck, you go.
Zephyrs trying to regain the lead. They've led for the bulk of 3 quarters. For that late outburst from the Cadets. Seth Erickson forced back out for Cruz. Takes a bump from Meisterling. Erickson, high pass able to be pulled down. A whistle and an interference call will turn things over to St. Thomas. Max Candon, who scored the game-tying goal late in that third quarter. Part of that 3-goal outburst as Candon drops it back into the slot. A shot from Hudson. The save was made by Steppen. Zephyrs will come back up the far boundary. Bruce.
Ball's right, ball's right. Hands. Hands, good.
Snap behind the net. Zephyrs back out into the slot for Erickson.
We're good. We gotta be straight up on that way.
Jason Peterson.
Get him there. Hey, Tom. Not going anymore. Whoa!
Thrown down to the turf is Sam Knapp, and that'll draw a penalty on the Cadets. Luca Petrie's going to be called for the push.
10-yard line, White. 10-yard line.
Well, the Zephyrs will go player up. Chance to regain the lead. Initial shot was blocked, and the second chance for Ned Whitney. Beg your pardon, this is going to be Sam Knapp. Either way, the man-up goal for the Zephyrs. Mahtomedi regains the lead here in the fourth quarter. Zephyrs able to retake the lead. Knapp's second goal of the game, his fifth goal of the season.
Assisted by number 1, Oscar Magnuson.
Oscar Magnuson credited with the assist. And a foul called on the Cadets. That'll turn things over to Mahtomedi. Pass upfield was knocked down. Battle for it just across midfield. It'll be recovered and carried up the near side by Gray. Gray drops a pass. The high slot, a shot ripped wide of the net from Erickson.
Hands.
Zephyrs trying to find a little insurance. Erickson sees it work back toward the far side. Erickson with the shot. They've got the big goal to go up 2. Seth Erickson gives Mahtomedi a 2-goal advantage. 6th goal of the year for Seth Erickson. Up over the left shoulder of Wicks.
And 6:26 of the fourth quarter, number 18, Seth Erickson. Assisted by number 25,
Brandon Cruz picks up the assist. A long pass downfield. This will be out of play. Just short of the midpoint of the fourth quarter. That's in control of it. Cody Kronberg crossing midfield. Pass ahead, Petrie.
Timeout on the field.
And the Cadets will take a timeout, a very important sequence here. Down by 2 just past the midpoint of the fourth quarter. The Zephyrs able to break the tie. A goal for Sam Knapp and got a little insurance on top of it. The Seth Erickson goal a moment ago. Zephyrs, as we mentioned, trying to snap a long losing streak against St. Thomas. Coming up next for Mahtomedi, this is the second of 4 in a row at home. They'll take on Hudson in a cross-border matchup. Big game May 9th. They'll be at Hill Murray. A must-watch game when the Zephyrs take on the Pioneers. At Duluth, or against Duluth, and then 3 in a row on the road to close out the regular season. St. Thomas, they'll head home Friday. They'll take on St. Paul Two Rivers. That'll be the first of a 3-game homestand. Also see Hill Murray a few days before the Zephyrs will. Those are going to be some really good games you won't want to miss. Zephyrs will try to close things out here in the fourth quarter. About halfway to the finish line in this final frame. A little less. Come out of the St. Thomas timeout. Hudson, Williams, Hudson again. Williams thought about a shot. Douglas, or beg your pardon. Petrie took a shot as that knocked down the goaltender Steppen. It ends up being wide. You hear the hard contact with the sticks and players' pads. We're going to have a holding call. Going to go against the Zephyrs. Peter Olson, Williams. Cadets need one in this sequence as we approach 4 minutes to go. Bushlack, we'll see it continue to work around. Dick's whacking away at Hudson in desperation. Gets a shot off as it'll be recovered by Roloffs. Mahtomedi in control, up 2 with 3.5 minutes to go. Gray will deke one man.
Yes!
As we'll get a handling violation on Knapp, so that'll turn things over. Cadets don't have a lot of time, though, to waste at this point. Lob pass on the left side is people screaming for offsides, and look like they're going to get the offsides call. Bruce will carry it ahead. Cadets bench yelling out, you guys gotta do something to get the ball back. There's 2 minutes left with the Zephyrs up by 2. And timeout will be called by Mahtomedi with 2:16 left to go. Now the Zephyrs try to ride this one out. Pick up their 6th win in as many games on the season, and in the process hand St. Thomas their first loss. Zephyrs with wins over Maple Grove, Egan, New Prague, and Hastings, as well as Simley. St. Thomas got their win over Chanhassen, Egan, Hudson, and Simley as well. I'll take a look at some of the highlights from this 4th quarter. As the Zephyrs have been able to pick up a couple of goals, restore a 2-goal lead. The first one there for Sam Knapp. And then Seth Erickson with the big insurance goal that has held up as the Cadets find themselves down by 2 with 2:16 left to go. Oh, a big 3rd quarter for the Cadets where they erased a 3-goal deficit, and it was tied up at 7 heading into the 4th quarter. But unfortunately for the Cadets, they've been unable to add anything on here in the 4th. As the Zephyrs were able to break the tie.
One, just run. Thank you. Sprint.
Knapp into the high slot as the Cadets defense getting aggressive, trying to force a turnover. They won't be able to there. It will go under 2 minutes left. Good whistles blowing. Zephyrs bench, I think, is yelling about something about, well, that was before the 2-minute mark. As the Cadets in control, could be their last chance, down by 2 with approaching a minute and a half left to go. Somehow able to keep possession of it is Hudson as he sends a shot wide. .91 seconds left. Mahtomedi going to try to get the Cadets to burn as much of this time as they can. Hudson got it down low as Williams is stopped on the shot by Steppen. Hudson will leave it off as it comes up for Petrie. And contact in the crease with the goaltender, so that'll turn it over. Zephyrs will just try to get it upfield, and that'll burn off a lot of the remaining time, but the turnover able to be forced by the Cadets. Petrie, his pass was knocked down, it's loose. Still being battled for as the whistles will stop things at 24.4. Cadets trying to get it inside. They get the goal with 18.6 left. Mitch Reagan gets it for St. Thomas. Oh, a lot's going to come down to this face-off. Reagan sweeping it into the bottom corner. They go back to that insurance goal for Seth Erickson, and that's looming very large right now for the Zephyrs. Rolls down into the Zephyrs zone as it comes down to 10 seconds. Zephyrs trying to keep it in. And a timeout was taken before it went out of bounds. No, not quite over yet. Now the late goal for Mitch Reagan, giving the Cadets at least a pulse. Reagan's goal, first of the fourth quarter for St. Thomas. What a game we've had here tonight, and we expected between these two East Metro rivals. As look at our upcoming sports coverage schedule. We'll have some softball on Wednesday the 7th, lacrosse Friday, and then baseball Monday, May 12th. We work our way into the nice part of the spring season. Mahtomedi crowd rocks the stands, as it'll be one last chance for St. Thomas with 7.9 seconds on the clock. Clock runs. Petrie carries in. Petrie into the high slot. Petrie was knocked down, and that's going to do it for the first time since 2018. The Zephyrs knock off St. Thomas Academy by a final score of 9-8 as the Zephyrs celebrate. Mahtomedi having to hang on to the late goal for St. Thomas. Gives the Cadets one last chance to tie the game and force overtime, but the Zephyrs able to hang on and win it by a final score of 9-8. Game-winning goal for Seth Erickson. So the Zephyrs improved to 6-0 on the season. St. Thomas falls to 4-1. These were going to be some fun games when these three teams, the Zephyrs, the Cadets, and the Hill Murray Pioneers, start to play against each other. And both of the Cadets and the Pioneers will, and the Zephyrs will see the Pioneers here in the next couple of weeks, week and a half, I should say, as we'll take a look at the highlights from this one. As the Cadets got down early in the second half, the Zephyrs at one point led by 3 goals during the third quarter. Cadets rallied, they tied it heading to the fourth. That was the game-tying goal there for Max Camden. It was 7-7 after 3. We worked our way into the fourth quarter, and the Zephyrs picked up a couple of goals. The insurance goal there from Seth Erickson ended up holding up as the game winner. As the Zephyrs get the win tonight on home turf, they remain unbeaten, and they knock off St. Thomas Academy by a final score of 9-8. For David down in the truck and the rest of our crew on site, we thank you so much for joining us on SCC Sports tonight. I'm Patrick Foley. It's been great to be with you. What a game we had tonight between these two powerhouse teams. As we said, both of them will get to take on Hill Murray in the next week and a half, and those will be can't-miss games if you're a fan of boys lacrosse. Stay tuned to our social medias for our schedule, upcoming broadcasts, and archives if you missed some of tonight's game. And we will catch you next time from a field near you.
Sit up, team.